Alright, let's have some fun, shall we? I'm John Rhythm with my AEW Double or Nothing 2021 predictions, a pay-per-view that shall live in infamy. In all honesty, there are a couple matches on this card that I think could steal the show. I'm kind of meh on some of the card, but I gotta be honest, some of the matches on past pay-per-views that I was kind of on end up surprising me for good, because I was like, holy shit, this string of matches has been great. What the hell is going to happen in the main event? And then sometimes we get a really good main event. And other times we'll get the exploding barbed wire death match popcorn sparkler fart thing at Revolution, where all they'll remember is the finish, even though some of the matches weren't all that bad. Some of the matches are actually pretty good. So hopefully we don't get that kind of ending, because they're going to need to win back some paying customers, because some people were turned off by that. And even though they've been unopposed by NXT for well over a month, and they've hit some highs on ratings, they've kind of hit a plateau. So this needs to be a pretty damn big home run for them, and hopefully they can deliver that. And, their pay-per-views, they're $50 a pop in the U.S. I have no problem plunking the money down, because I want to support the talents I care about. And even with the haphazard booking to some of the bigger matches, like, oh, they could do this so much better, they also, can deliver in spite of that bad build. And then you get terrible to non-existent build just to get people on the goddamn card. But I want to know your predictions in the comments, please. So I do like how they already set up this entire card on last night's Dynamite, which is a good thing, because next week's Dynamite is preempted until Friday because of the NBA playoffs, and then is preempted even further because of said NBA playoffs. So they have Dark Elevation, Dark, Dynamite to sell the pay-per-view, and possibly an extra Dark, because AEW can't possibly have enough programming to oversaturate their audience, which I get. They're trying to get people more ring time, but sometimes less is more. But anyway, Casino Battle Royal participants: Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, Powerhouse Hobbs, Willie Hobbs, Penta, Jungle Boy, Matt Hardy. Is Phoenix injured? Genuine question. Is Phoenix injured again? Because I'm surprised if Phoenix isn't in this. So, Matt Hardy, Private Party, The Blade, Uno, Cabana, Intent, the Dark Order, the Varsity Hollywood Blondes of Griff Garrison and Pillman Jr. Julia Hart is not in this, more in the pity, as funny as that would be. The Acclaimed, Bowens and Caster, QT Marshall, Nick Camarado, and Dustin Rhodes, Lee Johnson, and one surprise. The surprise is Daniel Bryan. I actually have no idea who the surprise is. The surprise may just be somebody that they pull from the goddamn crowd. I mean, who the hell? Watch it be Tessa Blanchard, and she competes with the guys. They could do that. It probably wouldn't be a great idea, but they could do that. Of all those people, this is for a future, AEW title shot. And given the fact I don't think they're switching the world title, I think Christian Cage is going to win. And then he's going to get a match with Omega, like either the next week on TV or, in a month's time to build it. And then Christian Cage will lose. And I'm not a big fan of giving people, or watch Paul White be the surprise entrant and watch Paul White win. I actually could see them doing that. Christian having a match with Omega and then losing, I don't think is the worst thing in the world. And I'm not the biggest fan of giving a shot like this to somebody older, but really, who else can you have? You can't really have a heel do it, because you need to have somebody that Omega can, use his dastardly tactics against, and get some kind of sympathy on the opponent, even though I don't think it's really going to matter. Christian, though, they had that brief face-off, so why not revisit that, even though I had to remind myself just now that they actually had that face-off, because they will just do shit and then forget about it. I have Christian Cage winning. Adam Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. And I have another Cage winning. Brian Cage is going to win. They're going to knock Page down, and they're going to rebuild Page to have him stand tall on the stage when he beats Omega. Brian Cage is going to win, and then maybe he'll get a TNT shot. Maybe he'll attack Christian Cage before his match with Omega, and then Brian Cage will get a shot at Omega, and then Christian will attack him, and it'll be a vicious Cage cycle. All Cages, human centipede together. Brian Cage winning this wouldn't be the worst. If you have Page win, cool. I think it would be too soon to pull the trigger on Page beating Omega. Even though I'm not a big fan of Omega as champion, they're going to build this at least to full gear. They're going to give Omega nearly a year-long run before Page beats him, or they have him beat him on TNT. The final TNT program to lead to Page being the champion when they go to TBS, because they're moving to TBS in January 2022. Which some people have said is ridiculous. Oh, they're moving to TBS, a lesser station. TBS has been around longer. It's also in a couple million more homes. And TBS was the original superstation, where Ted Turner brought wrestling to the masses. Study up your TV history. Anyway, Brian Cage is going to win. We're probably going to get Hook coming out and doing that. Still funny how Shivani said that. And we're going to get Hook with a distraction. We're going to get Taz doing a distraction, and that's going to be it. And Cage is going to win. Miro versus Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. It's either going to be a double countout or a double DQ for this reason. You can't have Archer take the pin. Miro obviously can't get beat right away. Maybe they do something with Jake Roberts where Miro can shockingly beat Archer with a roll-up or something. But other than that, you're going to have to do a double countout, double disqualification, and maybe build it to a couple weeks' time where you have Archer get beat. Because Miro, at this point, I don't know where this Miro has been, but he was hidden in all the Arcade Anarchy. God, I hated that match. If they'd been using Miro like this since the beginning, he would have been taken a lot more seriously. But yeah, I got a double count out, double disqualification, or maybe a surprise roll-up where Miro wins, but you're going to have to keep Archer looking strong because you got to rebuild him too. And then we have Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, Dr. DMD. You know she's a dentist. Did you know that Britt Baker's a dentist? They've only mentioned it 8 million times. With Rebel, AEW Women's Title match. I'm being quick here. Britt's winning. Shida's gonna, have a just over a year-long title reign. Britt's winning. She should. Can be via shenanigans. She needs to hold the championship till Full Gear. Give it to her for at least 6 months. I would give it to her until Revolution next year. I don't mind long title reigns if you use it right, and with what they've been doing with Britt, she needs to win. I love Shida. Don't get me wrong. Time to switch it. Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson versus Anthony Monster Ogogo with the Factory. If you don't get the Monster Ogogo thing, you're not an MST fan. I have Anthony Ogogo winning. Please, for the love of God, let him win. Because they're eventually... I'm surprised they didn't make this a flag match. They hot shot everything with Cody. Anthony's going to win. Or they will have Cody win, and then they have a flag match, and Cody wins that, and then Anthony's just beaten flat, and he doesn't mean anything. After that promo he had on Dark, he has to win here. It's going to be via shenanigans. We're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. Lee Johnson's going to run out. Dustin Rhodes is going to be all chaos. Brawls around the ringside. It's going to be the classic, Dusty run-in and all that stuff and everything, even though Cody's a fraction of what Dusty was at his most diminished in the ring. I don't mean athletically. I mean as far as how he is viewed by people. But Anthony Monster Ogogo is going to win. If he doesn't, what the fuck was the point? Because this isn't QT Marshall that could just get beat because nobody really buys into QT Marshall being anything other than what QT Marshall is. A fine worker, but that's it. Anthony, they have something with. And they could really extend this, but I hope they don't, just have Cody beat him. I fear they will, but I'm going to go with Monster Ogogo. And then we have Sting and Darby versus Ego Sky. Scorgigo Sky. Man, I had to shoehorn that there. Ethan Sky is what I'm going to do. It's like Vanilla Sky, only with louder shirts. I have Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky winning. Why? Why not? They beat down Darby, and you can beat Darby, and that's fine. You can beat Sting, because Sting, all you need to do is basically knock him over with a goddamn feather, because he's old. I love Sting. He's old. He ain't gonna goddamn do anything. Can't do Scorpion Deathlog anymore. He can't do it. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, even though they're a makeshift team, if they don't win here, then what's the point? What revenge does Darby and Sting need to get? I got a lot of heels winning tonight. Or winning on this pay-per-view, that is. But Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky are going to win. The Bucks versus Mox and Kingston, AEW tag title match. I think that what's going to happen is the Bucks are going to win. Kingston's going to take the fall. I don't mind Mox and Kingston winning the tag titles, but Renee is expecting, her and Mox are expecting a child soon. I think Mox is going to take some time off because she's got to be nearly having the kid. So this way it writes off. You can have Mox off for like a month or whatever. You can have Kingston do some stuff, and pre-tapes or just have some matches, and then maybe you can have them go for revenge again. You could give them the tag titles, but then Mox has got to be doing more stuff when he's expecting a child. So I think the Bucks are going to win. If they switch the titles, I won't complain, but I got the Bucks retaining. And then we have Omega versus Pac versus Orange Cassidy. 3-way for the AEW World title. Omega's winning. That's it. He's probably going to pin Pac. And then they're going to build the Orange Cassidy Omega match that I'm not sure how many people want to see. I don't want to see it, but whatever. Omega's retaining. Pinnacle versus Inner Circle. Stadium Stampede 2. Electric Boogaloo. Inner Circle loses. They must disband. Okay, if you are a newer subscriber, you might not know I hated the first Stadium Stampede match. And I also hated what they did in Titan Tower for the Money in the Bank ladder match concept, that WWE did. I'll tell you why I hated Stadium Stampede. I got why they did. They didn't have fans. They were trying to do things and, try different things. They were trying it. I can't fault them for that, even if I didn't like the match. They're going to have a full crowd there. Is this full crowd going to be interested in what's going on? Probably not. So I have the Inner Circle winning because what are they going to do? If they disband, what are you going to have? You're going to have Santana Ortiz be a team. You're going to have Jericho and Guevara be a team, and Hagar be what Hagar is, boring. Inner Circle's going to win. This whole thing has been so haphazard. If they had built to blood and guts at the pay-per-view, and I'm talking the next pay-per-view, built at All Out, that would have made more sense. You could have done something like that, but no, they hotshot this thing. I'm not expecting much from this match. I suspect I will probably not like it. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I got the Inner Circle winning because why not? I mean, Pinnacle won, Blood and Gut War Games, Blood Game Guts. That would have been funnier. They won that, so Inner Circle's winning here, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.